Third down and 20.
Running backs. So, keep trade cut rankings on the teams. We got Clyde Edwards-Helaire with the Chiefs. Keep trade cut rating of RB12. Darrell Williams, RB72. Darwin Thompson, 98. Jerick McKinnon, not ranked. Then you got the Broncos with Javonte Williams as running back 19. Melvin Gordon, 47. Royce Freeman, 104. Mike Boone, not ranked. Then you got Austin Eckler on the Chargers as RB18. Justin Jackson, 86. Josh Kelly, 65. And Larry Roundtree, 62. And finally, you have the Raiders with Josh Jacobs, RB21. Kenyon Drake, 39. Jalen Richard, not ranked. And Trey Regis, not ranked. So I guess kicking it off with the Chiefs, I actually selfless, shameless plug here. I wrote an article for 3rd20.com where I evaluated all of the 2020 running backs.
Link in description.
Oh, nice. Link in the description. I got my thing in the description. Let's go. I put a sell evaluation on
what they have him at.
He's RB12. So what do you think about that one? I said
I'm pretty confident in Clyde Edwards-Helaire being a top 12 dynasty back next season. I'm not saying finishing top 12 this upcoming season, but I just mean in terms of dynasty back value. I'd bet the house on it. Like him being top 12 dynasty back next year. That backfield's his. He was playing really well this year before he got hurt. And that backfield's all his again in the Chiefs offense. He has another year in the system. He's a receiving back. He can catch and run routes, can pass protect, runs the football. I like him a lot. I'd buy him. If I can get him at RB12 price, I'd buy him because I view him as a top 10 guy going forward. Now that Akers is out, there's another spot open. I'm bumping up Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
That makes me feel bad about my sell rating on him. That Lounis just said that stuff.
I believe in him.
I actually think I agree, Lounis. JT.
Thank you.
Just because I just think that I like Clyde Edwards-Helaire. If I had him, I'd probably hold him more than sell him necessarily.
And that's why I put in my article too. Sorry, keep going. When
push comes to shove, I view him more of as like an RB2 with good upside than an RB1. And right now at RB12, obviously he's a low in RB1, but dude, you're getting to that point where he's got to be your guy. He's got to be your Aaron Jones. He's got to be your Ezekiel Elliott from a few years ago. Like, if you have him or you're buying him in a startup draft, you're relying on this dude week in and week out to perform. And I don't really trust him that much. And I liked him a lot coming out, and I still like him now. And he's obviously in a great situation. I'm just not sure I'm going to buy into him at an RB1 price. I'd be much more comfortable at an RB2.
It's about the cheapest RB1 if it's RB12.
Yeah, it's just last year I see Miles Sanders getting drafted early second round, and I think that's more of the Clyde Edwards-Helaire scenario than me picking up Aaron Jones. The
issue with CEH is that it's kind of what with Lucas pointing to Cornell Powell, where you're pointing to the situation more than you are the player. At least that's why he rose so much.
I still like his talent. He was drafted in the first round. I like him because of the fact that he's also a receiving threat. He's the best receiving running back out of his class. Maybe Swift is close, but
Swift is better receiving back. Swift had more targets. Swift was the better receiving back coming out of college. The issue with CEH to me is you look at a situation and sure, that's fine, but like that's why he rose so much before the draft. That's why. He was probably like the fifth prospect, maybe even sixth when you're considering that Najee Harris and Travis Etienne were still there too and being considered before the draft even happened. Then we're looking at him, right? And people go like, oh, it's a complicated offense that you're supposed to learn, or, oh, he doesn't really have any competition. Like you've got Darrell Williams behind him. But like those are baits to me, right? Like CH, something I looked at that's interesting, right? And here's Tinder girl JT. I feel like that could be a good Twitch emoji, but CH would be the smallest Twitch emote. That's what I was looking for. CH would be like the smallest running back to finish in the top 24 other than Nyheim Hines. So, he didn't really have a whole lot of red zone rushes either. Like, I think he is like this tiny little bowling ball, but he hasn't really shown that he's got that physicality running up the middle. You really kind of have to scheme the ball to him. And I mean, if you're the Chiefs, why are we going to try and scheme the ball to CH when we could just scheme it to Travis Kelce? Kelsey or Tyreek Hill. Like, it's easier to get the ball to those guys anyway. Like, why are we going to try and manufacture it for CEH?
I think his receiving game is what makes me a believer. It's not just only the rushing; it's his receiving game. I could see him having the third most catches on the team if he stays healthy. That's not a crazy statement.
I think he's a firm hold. I think that he's a guy I like. I think RB12, RB13 is pretty dang
I do
fair.
want to hear Jake's thoughts real quick.
I mean, I like Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I think he's slightly overrated at running back 12. I think there's a few guys rated below him that I'd rather have that I'm more confident in their floor. I think Edwards-Helaire does have a higher ceiling than most, but his floor is one of these things that I'm a little concerned about, just because I think that the Chiefs are going to run up the score on a lot of teams, and people are going to say, "Oh, that's going to give him a lot of touchdowns and a lot of yards." But I don't think that's necessarily the case, because if they run up the score, they're going to take him out. They're going to let Darrell Williams and Darwin Thompson, Jerick McKinnon, whoever's behind him here in this upcoming season, take those garbage time touches and just not risk the injury here. Yes, I like his receiving upside. Yes, I like his ceiling. But I think a lot of the red zone touches, a lot of the big touchdowns also are going to go to Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill. Nothing new in this offense.
I mean, yeah, like I said, those are the main two. I don't know. I like him. If I could buy him at RB12 price, I would, but he's not being sold at RB12 price.
Correct, and that's the
reality
problem.
of the situation.
I mean, you're going to have to pay up. People are going to treat him like a top 10 back.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's why I put the C, because I'm like, if I could get him at that price, I would. I can't.
So really quickly though, I do think that Darrell Williams is the backup to own in this division, and probably one of the better backups to own in the league.
Probably.
I agree big time on this one.
Simply because I think that he got the trust of the coaching staff in the playoffs last year, and if CEH does go down, he truly does have that low RB1 type upside. By situation, not by talent, but I mean.
If he has low RB1 upside, then what do you think CEH has? As a way more talented
Frank said
That's
running back
what
12,
his price is, dude.
Yeah, Frank said his
But
price
that would be for the next couple years. The backfield
one.
is. I don't know. I believe him.
Anyways, let's move on to Denver.
If you could package CEH with a little bit and just move up to running back that is kind of more confident, that's what I would do personally. But all right, let's move on.
This is a beautiful site right here on this Google Doc. I'll pull it up on stream. You ready for this? Hold on, let me.
I'm ready. Twitch is delayed, so I can't. You're
gonna the Javonte Williams one.
Javonte Williams line here.
Look at that! Look at that!
And
all using a fat C, baby.
I'm surprised you were the 1C. Who'd you put as most underrated?
Is C or U better?
I think U is better, because then you're saying 19 is
close.
correct.
Yeah. Well, confident.
We're saying it should be higher.
Original meaning of it.
Yeah.
Okay, well then I'll put a U there.
Okay.
Straight U's across the board.
I got you, boss.
We love our Javonte Williams. I mean, it's odd, when you have Najee Harris and Travis Etienne ranked above him, and we all said Javonte Williams is our running back one of this class. It's a pretty easy choice to then go, okay, he's the underrated one.
He's a stud. We've had so much content talking about how much we love Javonte and the reasons why. 19 is low.
I mean, whether Melvin Gordon gets traded or anything this offseason, start of the season, or it's just, his contract's over this year, it's Javonte's backfield 2023 on. But I think he does pick it up. Definitely not week 1, but week 4, week 5. I think it's an early transition to Javonte, in my opinion.
Well, dude, honestly, I was saying on the pod that released yesterday with me and Steve, because we were talking about worst to first, and he took the Jaguars for me, so I picked the Broncos. And I'm like, even though this team I don't think will finish first or even make the playoffs, it's like you look at their team, and the team that I see is the Jets from years ago, where they have that really good defense. And potentially
if their offense can just be any average offense, they could win games.
Well, not only that, I think that if they're able to just pound the rock, right? You have Javonte Williams, Melvin Gordon. Offense. Yeah, just pound the rock like the Jets with Mark Sanchez. They had one of the top rushing offenses in the league.
Sean Green, baby.
Yeah, just two good running backs. Let's get this tandem going. I think that Melvin Gordon, Javonte Williams, while people think that they might cannibalize each other's shares, I actually think that they might be able to help each other because they're both running backs that break tackles at a pretty high rate. So it might be a real strain on defenses to have to tackle both of these guys for the entire season.
And Javonte also, which is a benefit. We've had analysts talk about how this running back needs to stay on the field to get his rhythm. Like Javonte is used to swapping out for another back from college. Him and Michael Carter would come on and off. Obviously, Javonte got the lion's share, but this is nothing new to him. And I think I'm with you, Frank, with the points you made.
Yeah, I mean, building off Frank, the more first downs you get, the more you're likely you are to run and everything. It makes sense, what your argument is there, Frank. If they're able to produce more offense, they're going to be more runs. It just goes hand in hand.
Yeah, the other thing I just kind of want to add, this isn't necessarily for Javonte, it's that I think the fantasy community has this expectation that if you're going to be a good running back, you need 70+% of the touches, which I think couldn't be more wrong. I would much rather have a running back get 55% of the touches, but be extremely efficient.
I think that's what Jonathan Taylor did.
It's a common misconception. I think I saw a stat. Only 4 running backs had I think it was only 4 or 5 running backs had 70% of the snaps in games.
But also, dude, I want my running back to be there. I don't want a dude to get the wheels ran off of him for 3 years and then poof, he's out. If my dude can be sustained, kind of I think the Browns are doing with Nick Chubb, where they're not just giving him 400 touches a year, and then all of a sudden you can only do that for 2 or 3 seasons, and then you're basically just destroyed. Keep this guy alive for his career. So instead of getting 3 or 4 or 5 seasons, I get 8, 9 seasons of low-end RB1 or mid-tier RB1 production.
Okay, wait. I have a really actually quick fun game. There were only 5. Okay, this is games they were active for. So games they played in. There are only 5 running backs that played 70+% of the snaps in games they were in 2020. Can you name the 5? I guarantee you guys won't be able to.
Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry was not.
Seriously.
Dalvin Cook.
Dalvin Cook was 1.
James Robinson.
He's fifth at 70%. James Robinson is not.
What? Who else was running for James Robinson?
David
or
Montgomery.
Is it just snaps?
David Montgomery was 1. He's second at 74%.
Kenyon Drake.
No.
No.
Nah, he wouldn't be.
Wow.
Number 1, I would have never guessed.
Yeah, that's where I'm going.
Not Aaron Jones.
No.
Yeah, I said
one of them's
Aaron
pretty
Jones.
easy. Zeke was 1. He's third.
So wait, we have Zeke, Cook, and who else?
Montgomery.
Montgomery.
There's 2 more. These are the 2 that are tough to guess, especially the one that's in first place.
It's no Colt. It's no.
The one who's in first place was not really fantasy relevant last year.
Chris Carson.
No. Can I tell you guys who's in first? Can I tell you?
Yeah, go ahead.
David Johnson, 74%.
Ah.
And then the 5th was Miles Sanders at 71. The point is there were only 5 out of the 32 backfields. To back up Frank's point, with you're not gonna, you shouldn't expect that.
All right. Are we moving on to the Chargers here? Well, do we want Mike Boone? Do we want Royce Freeman?
No, get those roster
no,
clogs.
Next.
I still have a soft spot for Mike Boone after his 1 preseason game. That was really good. So Chargers, I correct me if I'm wrong, but it's just Austin Eckler and then it's everyone else, right? There's no.
I mean, we have Justin Jackson as the backup zone.
I don't mind Justin Jackson. I just think Josh Kelly and Larry Roundtree are 2 of the most overrated running backs.
I don't know how they're ranked above Josh Jackson. I don't know how.
They at least with Josh Kelly showed us who he was. He was not good.
Yeah, I can maybe get Roundtree, but I don't know. I thought Jackson didn't.
I don't like Roundtree either.
Jackson looked okay last year. He looked okay. Obviously, it's a crowded back.
Not to toot my own horn or anything, but I also, just kind of said that Josh Kelly was the biggest fade ever last year.
You did say that. You did call that. I remember you saying that repeatedly.
I mean, it's a 3rd round, 4th round pick, so I'm pretty good at this.
I mean, there have been a lot of 3rd round running backs that turn out. But yeah, you called that completely with Kelly.
Where's I'm not even gonna worry about the rest of these guys. Where's Austin Eckler finish this year?
Top 12.
Oh, where does he? He's
Running
gonna
back
be.
one.
He's
Running
gonna
back
be
one.
a top. I'll say top 15. He might get in that 10 to 12 range, but he's gonna
Guys,
have a
I
good year.
think he's RB7.
I think he might
I
be
wouldn't
that
be
high as well.
surprised.
He's very good, and I think if he can stay healthy, it's going to be a dangerous Austin Eckler this season.
He's good, man, and especially with Herbert there, he's going to use him a ton. How many games did Eckler play with Herbert last year? While you guys are talking, I'm going to try to pull that up. Give me 1 second.
Not a lot, but he was really good with him.
Keep
Frank, are you
talking.
going
I'm
to build
finding
us up
it.
or break us down?
He's
for
going
you
to
real quick.
finish somewhere between RB21 and RB37.
Oh, that's
What?
I felt like
For next year?
Whoa!
Yep.
Are you
You
predicting
heard it
like
here
him to be just
first, folks.
Or
Okay,
is this you
wait.
saying he starts all 17 games and still finishes that,
No,
or are
he
you saying
starts
he's
like 12 or 13.
okay?
By the way, I just want to say, first off, in games that he played, he didn't have a single game under double digits. But so the first three
Cool.
games of the year, he had 11, 21, and 29. Then got injured for middle of the season. Came back. At this point, it's with Herbert. 21, 10, 23, 11, 15, and 16.
Yeah, he was.
That's in
incredible.
PPR.
He's going.
Yeah.
He's going to be the
PPR.
same thing. He's going to finish top 10. I
Yeah.
think,
Now
this
after
year.
seeing that, I'll say definitely RB1 next year.
8.
No, you're wrong here, Frank.
Damn.
You're definitely
I would
wrong
like
here.
to talk about bait. Josh Jacobs is a bait on the Raiders.
Ah.
Frank loves his Josh Jacobs. I hate Josh Jacobs. I think Josh
I
Jacobs
say
is
underrated, but I'm not high on him.
He's
I,
one
He's
trick
underrated
pony.
because he's a top 20 running back that's going to get 250
he's,
carries. So
he's in the RB2 middle of the road.
He's a one trick pony behind a not great offensive line. He doesn't really have any dynamic thing. Like he can't catch the ball. There's nothing I like about Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs can definitely catch the ball.
No, he can't.
Damn. No, he's not a good receiving back.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs.
I
Josh
think
Jacobs
he's just
was like
fine as a receiver.
Josh
but-
Jacobs.
fine.
Was,
I said
oh,
he's not
spent
good.
all-
I didn't say he's bad.
Last year,
He's not
Josh Jacobs
DeAndre
was like
Swift for JT over here, but he definitely catches the ball.
no. But last season, Josh Jacobs was like, oh, I spent all offseason working on my pass catching ability. He caught like 10 more balls last year. Like it wasn't anything.
Josh
significant.
Jacobs is the cheapest RB1 you can buy in Dynasty.
He's not an RB1.
Easily.
I would like to say the same thing about Austin Eckler.
Yeah,
Austin Eckler's
cheaper.
gonna. Yeah, when Austin Eckler finishes somewhere between RB21 and 37.
What makes you think he's going to be that low? In every game,
I mean, he's just predicting an injury.
Do you
at
just
that
think
point.
he's going to get hurt?
I just think that he's just kind of overrated. Like I think he's the next David Johnson, to be completely honest. He had one
Well,
good year
David Johnson finished.
and
One
in an
good year.
offense where they
Last year
check
when
the
he
ball
played,
down a
he was
shit
awesome.
ton.
Herbert was
And-
still feeding him.
I don't care. It's like what 4 games.
He caught more
like-
passes. He was more efficient with Herbert than he was with Phillip Rivers.
I don't care. I don't care.
Damn.
I think his ceilings. We've reached Austin Eckler's ceiling. I think his best days are behind him. I don't think that we see this top 12 running back that everyone is fiending
Who
over.
finishes higher next year between him or Jacobs?
Jacobs.
No.
It's Eckler easily.
If you ever want to do a bet, I'll take you up on that.
I
All
think
right,
we all
pod bet.
are.
Let's do it.
let's get a
Another
bet.
one. Can we do all 3 of us against Frank? It's just all
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
like
right,
our
what three do we
pitchforks.
have to do?
pulling up to Frank's house with Austin Eckler.
I'll write
making
down
us-
right now what we have to do.
I have no idea.
We'll think.
well.
If anyone's still in the Twitch chat, maybe throw a suggestion. I don't know if
Or
Flappy's
during the YouTubes, comment below what you
yeah,
think.
comment below.
Austin Eckler
What should
versus
be the
Josh
wager?
Jacobs. What's our wager? Preferably something that would be good content or whatnot.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, I think we all said Kenyon Drake was the most overrated, or at least we had all thought Kenyon
Yeah,
Drake
none
was
of us said
overrated.
Kenyon Drake.
Frank hated Kenyon Drake from the get-go. Frank's been
Yeah,
on,
I mean-
like Josh Kelly, Frank's been on the Kenyon Drake hate train.
It's just a backfield of overratedness.
Dude, that season where he went to Arizona and everyone was just like, oh my God, he's insane. I'm like, holy crap. Do we not remember that like Jay Ajayi completely outplayed him like years ago?
Yeah.
I don't know.